when did you start making beats? Like, how old was you?
See, I started making beats. It was like a little bit towards the end of my senior year back in 2003. Rest in peace, my little cousin Coop. He actually had the FL Studio software because he had a computer at the crib. You know what I mean? See, back in 03, not every household had a computer, you know what I mean? And my cousin Coop, he definitely had a computer at the crib, and he came across the FL Studio software. And one day, I mean, when I bumped into him, because we didn't see each other every day, but we definitely, I mean, stayed close to each other or whatever. And one day when I bumped into him, he had let me hear him like, yeah, what's up, cuz? You know what I mean? What's going on? You know what I mean? And I seen him bobbing his head. I'm like, okay, well, what you listening to, cuz? You bobbing your head kind of hard. You know what I mean? And he let me hear his beats. And I'm like, damn, you made these? And he said, yeah. And I'm like, I was curious to know what he made his beats on and shit. And he introduced me to FL Studio. He was like, I mean, I can get you a copy if you want. I said, shit, hell yeah. But see, at the time, I ain't had no computer. You know what I mean? But I knew I wanted to make beats. Like, damn, I do want that software. Just get me the software. I'll find out a way to get the computer. And to be honest with you, actually, when he first got me the software, I actually took it up to my homie's grandma's crib because she had a computer, you know what I mean, and hooked it up on there. It was making beats out of my homie's grandma's dining room.
Yeah, I ain't gonna lie. I remember somebody showed me about Fruity Loops, and like I was in Job Corps. Okay. Every time I sat down at a computer, I would download the demo on that shit. It was like I had demo beats because you couldn't save it on a demo.
Right.
I used to have exported beats on everybody's computer.
Yeah. You had to finish that joint out right there in that session. Yeah. I remember them days. I want to say that was FL Studio 3. That was when I first got introduced.
Started on 4.
Okay.
FL4.
Yep. It was FL3. I got introduced to it, and I've been making beats ever since. It was like eventually, of course, my man's grandma got tired of us occupying her dining room every day because once people in the neighborhood discovered that I had that beat making software in there, everybody was knocking on her door. Everybody. And the only reason why I was able to do that is because my grandma and his grandma was the tightest of friends. They was the best of friends. You know what I mean? So that's why I had the leisure to, you know, come up there, even when my mans wasn't there type shit. I had access to the crib as long as somebody was there. You know what I mean? And but if my mans wasn't there, I wasn't having no company in his grandma's crib though without him being there. I could say that. I am respectable, you know what I mean? But it was like once she got tired of people occupying her dining room, I eventually ended up getting a computer from Rent-A-Center. That's how serious I was about this shit. I'm like, I ain't got one at the crib, well, I'm gonna rent one.
Got taxed.
Yeah, I mean, because I still had the software. I had that disc. Okay. I had that disc. That's all I needed. I could put it on any computer.
And that was the real disc with the crack code and all that?
It wasn't the real disc. It was definitely the bootleg. Okay. It was the bootleg copy with the crack code on it.
Oh, no, I'm saying it was the crack version at that time?
Oh, yeah, it was a crack version. Okay. Yeah.
All right, so, like, when did you sell your first beat?
What year was that? I want to say it might have been 05, maybe 06. A guy by the name of Von Trees. I don't know if everybody familiar with my man Von Trees, but he was actually the very first person to buy a beat off of me. And because my man Von Trees actually had a situation going on called TLE. I forget what TLE stand for, but he had his cousin on his artist he had his cousin on the label as an artist. And he was pretty much, you know, going around and finding studios for him to record at and finding producers for him to, you know what I mean, get beats off of and shit. And I was one of the producers, you know what I mean? And he was the one that bought my very first beat for his artist on his label.
No, how much did you sell that very first beat for?
That very first beat was $50, bro.
Nah, but
that shit was $50 because I ain't know no better. I mean, to be honest with you, but shit, that $50 meant everything to me though. That $50 meant everything to me because, see, what a lot of people probably wouldn't see is that it was more than just the $50. It was the fact that I sold a beat, even if it was for like $25. The principle of it is that I sold a beat, and that right there let me know. That right there let me know that this is something that I could do. I can definitely make a living off of this.
Okay, the beat that you sold, was it used?
No, it wasn't used.
No, I'm saying, like, did the artist use it?
Oh yeah. Actually, it was that day. The way how it was is that my man had hit me up. It was back in MySpace days. He hit me up on MySpace like, yo, bro, I see you got the beats on deck. You know what I mean? Why don't you come through? And he was actually at a studio called Your Mama's House at the time over in East Liberty. And so I pulled up. You know what I mean? I had my man Asco with me because, like I said, I was, showing favoritism to Asco. So once I started selling beats and shit, every time I would go around selling beats to different artists, I would always have Asco with me so I can introduce him to people and shit. You know what I mean? And we pulled up to the studio, and Trees bought the beat off of me. And right there at the studio, he loaded it up in the. I want to say they was using Acid Pro, because niggas wasn't on Pro Tools back then. I mean, Pro Tools was around, but at the time, niggas was on a lot of the smaller programs like Acid Pro and Adobe Audition and all that. But yeah, he loaded the joint up in the Acid Pro and they recorded to it right there.
SmugTV.